Hey guys, Spooky Squid here. Today we're going to do a beauty brand tag. The tag was started off by Brooke. I will link her YouTube down below, and without any further ado, let's get started. So, let's get started on the beauty brand tag. As I said before, this was started off by Brooke. I will have her channel linked down below. I would consider subscribing. She is really sweet and I really enjoy watching her YouTube channel. I'm just gonna pull up some questions here. Think back to when you first started your makeup collection. Are there any brands you used then that you still use today? Well, I started off kind of experimenting with makeup when I was in college. So I went to Sephora all the time. I bought a lot of Makeup Forever products back then. They're all pretty much decluttered now. It's not really a brand I use anymore just because they're not cruelty free. So yeah, I kind of went into, I think at that point, I bought a lot of Kat Von D makeup as well. Or maybe it was later on. Oh, memories. And now she doesn't own her brand anymore, which is hilarious. Anyway, the second question is, which brands have you moved on from? So yeah, pretty much Makeup Forever. I started buying KVD Vegan Beauty Kendo Delights, whatever the heck it's called now, when yeah, she doesn't own her brand anymore, so I feel pretty good about buying from them now. So yeah, but otherwise I hadn't really bought from her in a really long time. Are there any brands you thought were so expensive that you'd never buy anything from them, but now consider at least one of their products to be a holy grail? If so, which brand and which product? Not really. I did buy an Hourglass primer because I wanted a really good primer, and at that point I was just desperate for a good primer because my skin was really bad and I just wanted my foundation to stick to my skin. And now I don't really wear primer anymore because I have like decent skincare routine that just allows my foundation to stick to my skin. But yeah, I bought Hourglass Veil primer, I think, and it was not a good time. So I decluttered it, and I'm not against like buying from Hourglass again, but they're pretty pricey, and I don't know, like I can get the same effect from, you know, another brand that's a fraction of the cost. So no, that's a no. What is a popular brand that you've never tried and don't think you ever will? Why? Like I'm not opposed to buying from certain brands like Pat McGrath or even Charlotte Tilbury, but I don't think I'll ever buy Natasha Denona stuff just because I feel like people either really love her palettes or really hate them. And her palettes are almost $200, and I don't think it's worth it. Like, I don't think any palette is worth $200, so I'm not gonna do it. Nope, I'm just never gonna buy from her. Sorry. What brand perfectly encapsulates your current makeup aesthetic? Explain. I've been using a lot of Menagerie Cosmetics. A lot. I love their lipsticks. I love their packaging. It's all about cute animals. But aesthetic wise, I'm probably gonna go for Melt Cosmetics because they have, apart from their whole cannabis like smoke session and their new 420 palettes, which I don't smoke, so I'm not really interested in that. But like everything else they come out with, like the packaging is just on point, and I just want to buy all their palettes but they are a bit pricey, so I kind of pick and choose which ones I will buy. So yeah, I haven't really decided which next ones I would buy. I wanted to get their Millennial Pinks palette, but it got really terrible reviews, so I'm probably gonna skip on that. And the other ones I'm just not interested. The 420 palette is really pretty, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about it, so we'll see. But I do hope I get more Melts palettes eventually in the future, so we'll just have to see what they come out with. Are there any brands you haven't wanted to try purely because you don't like their packaging? I mean, if you want to talk about boring packaging, KKW makeup is so boring. Like, she could have the most amazing color story, but just because it's in a plain, like, beige palette, I'm just not gonna buy it. Also don't really want to support the Kardashians for reasons, but I mean, packaging's so boring. Like, nothing is going on. Like, even the lettering is all the same. Like, she came out with a palette recently, and I'm like, didn't she already come out with this one like 6 months ago? And I'm just, they all look the same to me. So, yeah. Is there a brand you've only tried because their packaging lured you in? If so, were you happy with the actual product? Yeah, Menagerie Cosmetics. The first palette I bought was, well, I bought Killer Purr and I bought Violet Ink. And honestly, I think I only wanted Violet Ink because there was an octopus on it and it was so cute and totally me. So, and obviously I'm thrilled with the company. Like, everything they make is just beautiful, and like, all their eyeshadows are so pretty, so pigmented. I love the shimmers, so thanks for making such great products, and I hope you come out with other stuff soon because I want more. Some would say drugstore and mid-range prices are starting to overlap. What drugstore beauty brands are guilty of making this happen, and what are your thoughts on rising drugstore makeup prices? I think you can tell that the quality is cheaper just because I've started buying like more mid-range cosmetics. I can tell that, you know, what's drugstore and what's not. Some drugstore products are amazing. Like, I love e.l.f., Milani, they're great products and the prices are really good, and I don't feel like they've maybe raised a little bit, but not too much. It's probably just because of, you know, offer and demand. But yeah, NYX Cosmetics is just, they're okay, and I feel like their prices have skyrocketed, and I just don't see why. Like, their quality hasn't changed. They're still just okay. Like, they're good to start off with, but they're not, I don't consider them mid-range at all, and their prices are getting there. And I don't understand why. So yeah, that's my rant. With an anti-consumerist mentality starting to take hold in the YouTube beauty space, are there any brands you still feel a loyalty towards? If so, why? I mean, not really. If they have cute stuff, I'm willing to try it. Like, I really want to support more indie brands, more than, you know, big brands, because I feel like they deserve a chance too. And I'm always going to be trying out new indie brands and just try to talk about them and get more people into them. And I think that's probably what I'm kind of moving towards doing with this YouTube channel. So yeah. Have you ever felt betrayed by a brand? If so, what happened? Too Faced. I don't know why. Like, I really loved them before, and I think that makeup quality in general just started getting better and better and better. And like, Too Faced palettes were really good at the time, and now they're still there. Like, they haven't gotten better, they haven't got worse, but they're just okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna support them anymore, because it's like, mostly just because I can never count on the quality being there. So yep, pretty sad about that, but whatever. There are other brands out there. Are there any brands that you feel give off exclusivity vibes, making you feel like you aren't cool, rich, or pretty enough to buy from? If so, which brand and why? I'm just gonna talk about like Marc Jacobs, Gucci, like all those like super luxury brands that started doing makeup for some reason. And it's not really an exclusivity thing. It's obvious that it's a cash grab, and I'm just never going to be that person to like spend money, especially like when they have foundation range that is just depressing. Like, it's all like 40 shades of ivory, and no, I'm just not going to support that. It's not really an exclusivity thing. Like, of course they're really expensive, but I'm just not that person. And yeah, that's it, pretty much. What's worse, choice fatigue or a lackluster quarterly launch from a brand you're typically excited about? Choice fatigue. There's way too much stuff coming out right now, and it's just like, they're just coming out with stuff to get your money. Like, even right now with this situation, like you would have thought that things would have slowed down. They have a little bit, but not that much. And I think it's just like people getting pushed that on them like all the time, and they just can't really think about what they really want. They're just like, oh, new launch, oh, new launch, oh, new launch. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll buy everything. And I don't know, I think that's worse, because then you end up, it's very wasteful. And I'm not against buying things, but think about it a little bit. Have brand trips or sponsored videos ever made you actually interested in a product beauty launch that the brand was promoting? No, I'm not even gonna elaborate on that. Not really something I pay attention to. Are there any indie brands you hope to see sold at Ulta or Sephora in the future? Not really. I do want multichromes to be more accessible, because they're so pretty, and so far only certain indie brands have been making them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you could give any beauty brand a rebranding, which brand would it be, and what elements of the brand would you modify? I really want to try Glossier, but again, it's one of those brands that like I hear good things about, but the packaging is kind of boring. But I know that's their shtick. But if the packaging were different, I'd probably be more tempted at buying it. But I know it's not something that they're gonna do, because they have like their consumers that their products are aimed at, and everyone that buys from them are like just stans. And it's like, I understand what they're going for, and I want to try that, but yeah, that was the beauty brand tag. And if you do want to do it as well, please let me know in the comments, and I'd like to watch as well. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.